we are going to talk about recruiting, and specifically, how can we use drill as a recruiting tool to bring more people into our program. Now, before we begin, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got involved in junior ROTC and drill team. As a rising freshman, I did not want to take any more gym class, and I thought anything but PE. So I called a bunch of my friends, and enough of them told me they were doing junior ROTC for me to say, I guess I'll do that. At least I'll know some people, and it's not gym. Fast forward to the end of my freshman year. Liked the class, had no idea what the drill team was doing, but I got asked by 2 people to come to tryouts. I didn't know what it was, but when somebody asks you to do something, you kind of say, yeah, I'll go with it. Now, the common thread through both of those experiences is that I would not be here sitting in front of you today if no one had approached me. I was not about to raise my hand and volunteer myself or sign up on my own. It had to do with interactions with others. And so many times, most of the units that we visit, most of the programs that we see, they're relying on something that we call passive recruiting. And passive recruiting is things like giving a demonstration, right? And then saying, oh yeah, if you want to sign up for JROTC, don't forget when you fill out your choice sheet, sign up for ROTC. It's things like setting up a booth at an elective day at the middle school and waiting for people to come to you and just kind of telling them about the great things you do, and we go here and we do this. It's doing things like putting up posters with information, handing out flyers. All those things require somebody else to take the real meaningful first step. And those things are great. We should keep doing those things, but we want to add what we call active recruiting to the mix. Active recruiting involves actually developing a relationship with someone, actually imparting some kind of skill or something they can walk away with, in making sure that when they look at their choice sheets or when they decide about their electives, that they're not just thinking about the facts of the program, they're thinking about the feeling that they got when they interacted with the people in the program. So the question becomes, how do we use drill to recruit people? And it's very simple. Drill is like the ideal recruiting tool because it's not too physical. You got to be involved. You have to be up on your feet and moving. But it's not something like push-ups where if I can't do 1 push-up, what makes you believe I want to do 20 push-ups on a regular basis, right? But drill is just physical enough that it's active, and it's also very novel and interesting. We recognize it from movies, from TV shows. It's one of those things that we can go home and we can show people that we learned, even if it's kind of a meme or a joke, we can still demonstrate it. That's what makes drill such a quality recruiting tool. So, how do we take passive recruiting and turn it into active recruiting? Very, very simple. When we have the opportunity to do that demonstration, instead of just ending and saying, sign up for the class, we invite people out and we teach them. Anything that can be taught in a fun, engaging, and positive way is perfect for this scenario. It could be facing movements. It could be using a PVC pipe to learn how to do a spin, learning how to do a little bit of that unarmed exhibition at a very basic level. Keep in mind that this is not about actually teaching them how to do it the right way with discipline and bearing. This is about getting them to feel good because you've imparted a skill to them. And we're going to go one step further, because while that's happening, while you are teaching the drill to that person, little tiny baby sections of drill, we're also finding out about them. We're finding out their name, maybe what they like to do, what they're maybe worried about going into high school. We're building that relationship. So again, when they see JROTC on a piece of paper and they have to put a checkbox next to it, they're not thinking about the letters. They're thinking about you and the interaction and how good you made them feel when, even though you were really uncoordinated and couldn't figure out what to do, you eventually got just a little bit of that drill down. That's what they're going to remember. And this does not just apply to recruiting out of a middle school scenario into a high school. Any community function with enough time and enough space can become an opportunity to do this as well. Parades, ceremonies, demonstrations, anytime that we can have an audience participation element in what we're doing, we can use drill as a tool to get people talking about our core. For example, you might be teaching someone's mother how to do a left and right face. And maybe they don't have a student entering high school, but maybe they have a friend who has a student entering high school. And the next time they get together, they think, you know, I was at this thing downtown, and the ROTC cadets, man, they taught me how to do this. Isn't that funny? Oh yeah, isn't your student, aren't they going to go into high school? Well, maybe they should consider signing up. Those are the conversations we're trying to create. And if we're recruiting out of our high school, people that have already made it up but maybe not signed up for JROTC, we can do the same thing. Go to the gym class and look who's standing around the outsides of the walls. Go and look at the rosters of the folks that maybe were cut from the varsity list of their respective sports. Engage with them, get to know them, find out what they like, connect that to what you do, and show them a little bit about what it is that you're going to do if they join. And you're going to find some people that you probably never would have found, because those type of folks, just like me, are not going to be the ones that put their hands and say, sign me up, it sounds so cool, I want to be a part of this. They're waiting to be asked, they're waiting to be engaged. And drill is the #1 vehicle that we can use to get people to engage on that very active level. So hopefully that works for you. You got to get creative. You got to try different things. You got to not get discouraged. But we hope that if you can turn drill into a recruiting tool, it will become something that's not just another dreaded Tuesday that we have to get through to get to the next day in junior ROTC.